Hi, Robin Williams. Nice to meet you. I'm Howard Smith, and I've come to interview you.
Hello, Howard. Nice to have this conversation.
So tell me, when and how did you become interested in comedy?
As a young person, I was fascinated by the magic, the wonder of it. I was a kid who was looking for magic, and I found it in comedy. So that's what I started doing. And what I found in comedy is you find so many different ways to make people feel the way they do, and to make them feel something other than themselves. I've always been a very good mimic. I love to do impressions, and people love to laugh at impressions.
Robin, could you describe how your life was?
Well, I was a fairly shy person. I grew up in Chicago. You know, a lot of people grow up in a city, and they get a little isolated, and they lose touch with their roots and their culture. I felt that I always had access to the culture. I could go downtown with a sandwich. I could get a haircut. I could go to a movie, or I could just go to a party. So I had a lot of access to all of the things that you would think that you wouldn't have access to in a city.
Let's talk about comedy for a minute. You seem to be one of the greatest comedians that this generation has produced.
Yes, you have to choose. And you have to choose between an actor and a comedian, and you can't choose between the two. Because they're like, well, the best comedians are the best actors. You know, the ones that you've heard about. You know, the ones that are remembered for the funny things that they say. And there are plenty of actors who are funny, and the best actors can do both. I guess the ones that stand out for me, and that I've been able to do both, are the ones that people like and remember. I remember seeing Lenny Bruce, and the audience was hysterical, you know, and he had all these different voices and accents, and it was just great. And I remember watching that and thinking, wow, I could do that.
Robin, are you aware that you are currently dead?
I'm aware that I'm dead, yes.
That's a strange way to put it.
Oh, yes, of course I am. I'm aware of everything. I was just wondering why you'd ask that question.
I said you're currently dead.
Oh, currently.
That's true, you're currently dead.
No, I'm dead.
Okay, good. I want to ask you a question about when you were living.
Yes,
Were you ever aware of death?
I had a momentary awareness of death. I don't think I ever really thought about it. I didn't know if I was aware of death or not. I just didn't know. I guess I wasn't aware.
What do you see from afterlife?
I see the same thing I did before I died. I see trees, and I see the ocean, and I see people talking.
Okay, can you feel pain in your afterlife?
There is no pain and no emotion.
Robin, what can you tell us about depression?
Depression is really a little monster. It's a monster that you feed with bad thoughts. It's a monster that you get into bed with. It's a monster that will never leave you alone. It's a monster that you must learn to live with.
Well, Robin, in what way does it affect your life?
I live with it. It's the only way I know how to live. It makes me what I am. You know, I feel sad. That's all I can say about it. I can say that it's part of me. It's like a dog that's always ready to attack, and you just got to deal with it.
Robin, could we talk a bit about suicide?
Oh, I don't know how to answer that question. It was a decision I made, and if you look at it, it was the logical thing to do.
Would you rather we change the subject?
Oh, yes, yes.
What advice would you give to today's youth?
I would tell them to live their life fullest and have a wonderful time. I'd say try to do something moving and exciting, and that will touch your heart and make you think. And don't give up. You have to keep trying.
Well, Robin, I wanted to thank you for all the answers you have given us. Would you like to add something else?
I'm very curious about why you're here.
Me, why am I here? What am I doing?
I don't know. You just are here.
Is this the last interview you will do?
I think so. I hope so.
Why do you think you will not return?
I'm not a big fan of coming back.
How do you feel now?
I feel happy.
What are you going to do now?
I'm going to go find the ocean, Howard.
That's a fine way to go. Goodbye and thank you for all the answers.
Goodbye.